Hey, Chillie from Chillie's Cruises here. Did something yesterday, thought I might share with you this morning. Some of you might be interested. Some of you might be interested in joining me. But I thought I'd go over what I've done and the whys and wherefores. It all started a couple weeks ago. Some of you may or may not know that I co-host a show from London every Sunday. And we had a guest on, Arlene Sloan from Halstead Travel over in the UK. And we were talking about various things, the European perspective of a travel agent, which differs a little bit from the US perspective of travel agents, which we handled the week before. And one of the things that I normally ask whenever I talk to somebody that I use on my shows on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays is their favorite cruise ship and their favorite port of call. And Arlene, who has traveled literally around the world, her favorite port of call was Bruges in Belgium. And I was thinking, wow, I found that surprising. So I did a little check and I found a lovely picture of Bruges, and I understood why. And then I'm becoming closer and closer friends with my friend Pete over there in London, who I tease all the time about talking funny. And Pete has a group, Cruising for Solos, that I am a part of. And he told me that he had booked a couple cruises in October of 2021. That's 17 months away. And hopefully all this COVID stuff will be over with and we'll be back to normal. So that was the second thing that happened. And then we were talking with another friend of ours that's actually an Expedia agent out in Portland, Oregon, a travel agent. And her favorite ports of call was another European port. And I'm thinking, wow, I've never cruised in Europe. All of my cruising, I'm the typical American a cruise person that thinks everything is around the United States. So, I've covered all the Caribbean. I've covered up and down the East Coast. I've covered up and down the West Coast. I've covered both coasts of Mexico and Central America. And that's it. I've never gone to Hawaii, New Zealand, or Australia, or Asia. That's one thing that I like to do. I've never gone to South America. Just cruise around. I'd like to go around Cape Horn, around South America. I've not done that. That's the second thing I want to do. And I want to go to Europe and cruise Europe. The whole European cruise world is so totally different than we're used to in this country. And yet we silly Americans think that, we're the see all be all of the cruise world, and we're not. There are cruise companies over there we don't even know about here, or a lot of people don't. I know a little bit more about it now because I'm, enough in the business. But we're just terribly inexperienced with European cruises. And a lot of the European cruisers have more experience with our type cruising, plus theirs. So anyway, so I got real interested in Pete's bookings. And I started looking at it and I started thinking, I'm sheltered in place for who knows how long until we get a handle on this situation in this country, which we don't have yet. With everybody in this country that fights about wearing a mask, just keep in mind, folks, it's not going to kill you to wear a mask. It might kill me if you don't wear a mask. That's the whole point of the thing. You protect the people that are around you. Yes, it's inconvenient, but boy, it's a whole lot safer. Look at the problems we're having today in Florida and Texas and Arizona and California because they tried to open too soon. The CDC and our own White House had guidelines for how to open the economy back. Nobody followed them. And now we're having all these problems all over the country, to the point of, I mean, there's countries in this world now that will not allow American travelers because they can't trust that we won't bring them another wave of COVID. I think that's a terrible situation. So we got 17 months until Pete's cruise. And so I got real interested and I booked it. So here's what we're doing. I'm going to be leaving here somewhere in the vicinity of October 1st, 2021. I'm flying out of DC, and I fly into Venice, Italy. And in Venice, Italy, I'm going to get on the Norwegian Dawn. That's the Norwegian Dawn. It's going to be over there in Venice. And from Venice, I'm going to sail for 7 days in the Greek islands. As you can see from this, it might be a little small for you to read, but from Venice, I go to Kotar in Montenegro. And I've never been any place on this particular cruise. Corfu in Greece, Santorini in Greece, Mykonos in Greece, Argostoli in Greece, and then going back to Venice, toward Venice, stopping in Dubrovnik, Croatia, which I understand is a lovely, lovely place, and then back to Venice. Now, at least Pete and I, and hopefully John, the third of the three amigos, will be on that cruise. And we've already had a couple people, one from this country and one from Europe, that have indicated they'd be interested in joining us. So we're liable to end up with a group here going, together on this deal. But anyway, when we get back into Venice, we're going to get on a train, and we're going to go on the train down to Rome. Actually, it's to the port for Rome, which is Civitiveccia, Italy. And we're going to stay there for 3 days. As a matter of fact, Pete and I have we each have a room in a lovely little inn in Civitiveccia overlooking the cruise port, which is costing me $38 a night. I couldn't believe that. But anyway, we're going to be staying there for 3 days and get a chance to do the touristy things. Pete's never been to Rome. I've never been to Rome. So we'll do some of the touristy things around Rome. I mean, I figure I need to go to the Vatican and go in and have a glass of wine with the Pope, or something. I mean, once upon a time, I tried to have a glass of wine with Sophia Loren at her house down in Mexico. Got to go try to see the Pope at least. But anyway, there's lots to see in Rome. And then we're going to get on by the way, Santorini, Greece. That's what it looks like. Huh, that's going to be hard to take, isn't it? Wow. So anyway, we get down to Rome, and we're going to get on the 13th of October. We're going to get on the Norwegian Epic. The Epic is one of the newer ships, and it's a lovely ship. Pete has been on the Epic before. I have not. And from Rome, Civitiveccia, we're going to do the Western Mediterranean. We're going to stop in Florence. Yeah, that's where they got the Leaning Tower of Pisa. And then we're going to Cannes, France. That's what it looks like in Cannes. And from Cannes, we go to Mallorca in Spain, Barcelona in Spain. Barcelona is probably my favorite city in the world. I've been to Barcelona 4 or 5 times. I've been to Mallorca twice. So that's the only 2 places on both itineraries that I have been before. And then coming back, we stop in Naples and then back to Rome, and I get on the plane and come back home. So I will be gone most of the month of October of next year. So that's my plan. Some of you might be interested in doing this. It's 2 fabulous itineraries. I'm looking at this. This is a cruise of a lifetime for me. It's one of the 3 things that I haven't done in my cruise life, and I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, some of our friends over there on the European side will be joining us on this. They're looking at it and considering things. Hopefully by then, all this business with COVID will be behind us, and maybe they'll have some kind of a vaccine or something, and we can be back to somewhat normal life and get back to traveling like we all like to do. So I'm calling this video the Greek Islands Cruise, even though it's the Greek Islands Cruise and the Western Mediterranean Cruise. But that's what I'm going to be doing in October of 2021. If you want to join me, just give me a shout. I'll get you hooked up with my guy over at NCL, and we'll get you a good deal worked out. That's it for now. This is Chillie, the fat travel guy. Man, I hope to see you in Venice in 2021. Later, y'all.